Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video we have discussed about how the difference between the stateful widget and the stateless widget, and I think it's pretty clear how you use both of them. So in that we have discussed about how the state changes the UI and how the complete UI is dependent on these states, right? So in the last step we have created something which is like increments the number on the tab. So right now you have that much amount of knowledge that you can build in simple increment tab, then bottom navigations, drawers, and the app bars and basic UI strings. So but what about how you can take the input from the user, right? There might be some cases you want to fill the form, you want to take the age of the user, you want to take the name of the users, right? Every app does that. So how will you achieve that? So to do so, let's create a simple form, right? Let's create a simple how to take input. So just create a simple how to take the user's input. So we'll start with that and we will create a new file which is a input user. Let's create a name as input from user dot. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. So again, started off with a stateless widget. You will tell me, but I know this will be a stateful widget. So let's give it a my input screen, right? I can convert it anytime with a stateful widget. Just go and just convert it because I know it's gonna be a kind of stateful widget because we're gonna need some things. So let's build a simple form, a simple input box where we can take the input from the user. So what are the ways of getting the inputs? In the mobile screen we can take the inputs by tabs, right? So we have done that with the guest detector, and we can take the input for the values, right? And values are usually taken from the keyboard, right? So this is the most common ways. So starting with that, we will take, in this video I'll show you how you can take the input from the user's keyboard, right? So which is called text fields. Okay, so let's create a scaffold, create a body, then let's add a safe area too, then create a column in this, right? Get children in it. Now we have our complete structure. Okay, to let you show, let's connect it to our input screen. What I've done, I just linked my home to my input screen. So now you can see we have a plain black white screen, and now let's start with it. So to take the input, we have a widget which is we call this text fields. So you'll notice that text fields needs have so many parameters, right? Autocorrect, autofocus, controller, which is an important one. I'll show you about it. Cursor controller and all, decoration. So what if I just add? So you'll see we have a simple text field. So you can see it's working professionally. I can add names, I can type. So you will say it's completed, right? We can take the input. Yeah, but how will you pass this input to the code, the actual code, and execute on it? You can take the input by just adding the simple text field, but you want to execute on it, right? So we need something which will track record of what the user inputs are. So for that we have something what we call controllers, right? And controllers required a text editing controller. So if you see, we create a text editing controller. For that, first we have to create a controller. Controller is nothing but a variable, or just say a box which records the behavior of the text field or the value or the data in the text field, right? So we will just start with the text editing controller. We are giving it a name, and then again text editing controller. So what I have done is called initialization in basic programming. So it's just like I created a controller which is of class text editing controller and assigned him the text editing controller as an initialization process. Okay, so now we have our controller in our hand. We can just assign it out. Okay, it is due to we have applied the const in this scaffold. So always remember to remove the const whenever to check the widgets. So you will see there is no difference in the UI, but we have our text editing controller ready. Also, let's add a button. I think I can show you how it is done, right? Text editing button, and just create text. Submit. Let's create a submit button, right? And on action, print controller. So controllers knows our data, right? So we want to check the text, so we can just go controller dot text and give it a, right? Just like that. Just format it for you. You see we have a editing button. I think I should give a background color. Sorry. I think I have to give you something style, right? And it requires a style of button style. Button style, and now you can apply anything you want. You can choose with the color. You have so many options in the color. You can apply the color. So let's go with the color purple 400. Okay, it requires a material property color, so we have to go with the material and color. I think it's the copy. Just copy this. And remove the const if it requires. Right. And we have to assign the t value. So it's we have to add the t values over here. So I think let's move it for right now. I'll show you in the next video how to style and the use part. So it's pretty normal. So right now you see we can print our text, right? So if I print right now, it's empty. If I type anything, right, you can show we are trying to get the control. So that's it. That's the basic simple control and the execution of the code. So if there's like, we can use this controller any way possible and just like to get the code, right? So you can make a simple creating, like if I just want to add a greetings for whenever someone press this button, so we can call a greeting. We can do it by just getting it. Let's create a string, right? And greeting message. Right, sorry for the format. And let's start with a string. Right. Greet. Boom, boom. Greeting message is equals to hello and plus controller dot text. So it will just take the name from this and add hello into the center. And now we can just create greeting message. Yeah, so I can teach you on one interesting thing. If I just write in the past like few example of function, we used void. So I told you about the function which returns something, right? So we can use it right now. So it's string. Now it's giving an error because it requires to return something. We just use return greeting message. Now it's error free, and this function will return the greet. And now the error is gone from here too, right? So if you can see this, hello Argosing, hello Argosing, hello Argosing, right? So it's working, right? So you will say like, let's style it up. It's not looking good. Right, center. Okay, let's wrap this whole thing. Let's give this whole thing like, let's give it this style, right? So for that, let's go with the first thing which is important, which is decoration, input decoration. So you can add any decoration to this by this. So you can add a hint tags and stuff. So let's add a hint. Enter your name here, right? It's nothing. Whenever someone didn't write anything, it will say enter your name here, right? Yeah, so that's the basic thing. Then we can add border. You can change it to input border, right? So we have certain kind of borders, right? And so that's one. We can also add what we call the color. Just go with the enable, disable, error builder, error tags filled. We can add filled, so it will get filled enough. Now you see we have something in the background too. We can have content padding. Oh, let's add a seed. So you get that we have 8 padding. We can go with the 12, right? We can give the padding to this too. Size box with 180. So you see it gonna shrink it. Then we just wrap this into the center. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, enter your name here. This possible. Okay, we can have like input or decoration over here and the stuff. So like it's basically nothing but we can style our widgets, right? So also we can just throw, this is the example of how you can build this. Sorry for this, right? Now boom, boom, boom. It's working fine. So that's it. That's how you can take an input. Also, if you have noticed, then you are awesome. Our content is moving up like whenever the keyboard is opening. If you, it is done to like make the content always visible even if the keyboard is above and user is easy to write. But sometimes we don't want this because sometimes the UI will break if this happens. Right now you can see our content is going up without it's even needing, right? If it can stay here and still if you open the keyboard it will be visible. So to avoid that, there's a parameter which is decide to avoid bottom inspect in the scaffold. Just get it and add it a false. So you see it will stick to its position and never move, right? Yeah, that's what we need. And totally awesome. So I think it's a special tip. You will need this very much in the development of your app. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. I will show you how to build forms in the next video. Bye.